Hey ambitious friends, I am so grateful to have you all here with me today. We are going to talk about grants that you have to apply for right now because if you don't apply, they could be gone really quickly. And I'm so excited to introduce you to a round 2 of grants for women. It is exciting, it is energizing to see us creating our own businesses, and so I wanted to send you some support to help you get started or to take you to the next level. Here at Darcy's Business, I make it my business to know about grant funding, to know about new ideas, and to stay on top of what's going on in the business world so I can share it with you all. And so grants, we gotta have some funding for our business, and it's even nicer to have some free money. So I'm gonna jump straight into the video today. Let's get into it. So here we have our first grant. And so just to recap, what I'm going to talk about is going to be the grant, who's sponsoring the grant itself, how many winners there'll be, the grant amount, as well as the requirements, and then lastly, the due date when you cannot apply for this grant any longer. So let's get into it. So we have as the first grant, democratizing the Friends and Family Round for female founders of color. And this grant is sponsored by Hello Alice, Project Entrepreneur, and UBS. And so if you don't know, Hello Alice has been known to partner up with a bunch of companies to give grants to you. They run a lot of grants. You have to be connected with Hello Alice if you want grant funding or just to be in community with other entrepreneurs. I cannot recommend Hello Alice enough. And so this grant is democratizing the Friends and Family Round for female founders of color. So as you can see, it's going towards females, it's going to women of color as well. And so 30 female founders of color will win $25,000. So this is a huge grant amount. You have to apply for this one. And applications are now open starting October 6, 2021. So you have to apply, and you can apply right here. And what I want to let you know is that application does close November 10th. Yes, November 10th. So you got to get this application in really soon. And so some of the requirements to apply, you do have to be a venture scalable business. And you might be like, what is a venture scalable business? Where they go into it, right? And so your profits and sales need to rapidly increase without significant changes to how you do business. And that's what they consider a venture scalable business. And so here is the guide as well as a couple more details just to really get granular with this grant. But yes, this is $25,000 to women of color. Let's go to the next grant. So here we have the Start Her Grant, and it is sponsored by the Texas Women's University. And you might be like, my business isn't based in Texas. Well, it's okay. It looks like you can still apply, and we're going to talk about it when we go into the grant guidelines. So you might still be able to apply. Let's get into it. So 25 business owners will win this grant, and it's for $5,000. And so make sure, a little helpful tip, to read the grant guidelines and FAQ. And here it is. And so just to let you know, the applications are open, but they will close October 22nd on that Friday. So make sure to apply before October 22nd. So let's jump into some of the requirements real quick. And so the requirements are you must be existing or be formed woman-owned business. Yes, at least 51%. For-profit corporation. All sales, payroll, and other taxes must be current. And so I do want to let you know this grant is pretty extensive compared to the other grants that I share with you all. If you haven't seen my other Grants for Women video, you have to check it out. But this grant is pretty lengthy in terms of the application, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't apply. And so the purpose is to foster greater economic development activity in Texas, but your business might improve Texas indirectly. You might have customers in Texas. And I would still suggest reaching out to Texas Women's University to see if you should still apply if you're not a Texas-based business. Because in the requirements, it doesn't specify you have to be based in Texas. And so it is pretty lengthy. You do have a decent amount of questions that you need to answer. The list is all right here. It's pretty extensive in my personal opinion, compared again to the other grants I tell you about. But it is here. One thing I do want to call out is you do have to submit a project narrative. And so you have to create a video talking about your business and going over some other details. So definitely look into that. And for the grant, you're going to receive it in installments, $2,500 upon signing a grant agreement, and then the other $2,500 once you do some other qualifications and go through some trainings that they have. So it's important to know when you'll receive the money and the exact amount, but it's $5,000 total. So that's the Start Her grant. Definitely check it out and don't forget to apply. So real quick, I want to share with you this grant planner. So if you are just getting started with grants or your business and you don't know where to get started, the grant planner is a great resource. And this is provided by I Fund Woman, a great place for entrepreneurship women to get together and talk about their business. And so we have the first tab, My Capital Plan. It goes on how you plan on getting funding for your business in a variety of different sources. And then we have My Business Model and Revenue Plan, which you definitely need to break down. And then we have My Business Pitch. What do you talk about when you mention your business? Can you say what you do in 30 seconds or less? My Grant Planner. So having a list of all the different places you plan on applying for grants. And then going to your brand. What is your URL? What is your mission statement? Having that all in one place is great. My target audience and messaging is really key to know how to communicate your business. And my network map. Who do you know and who can you tell your business about or will help you in your business? And so this is a great resource that I wanted to share with you. And it's again provided by I Fund Woman. So here we have the Together Women Rise grant. And this is sponsored by the Together Women Rise organization, women coming together to support other women. And so here we have a grant for a nonprofit or 501c3. And so there's 2 rounds of grant funding. We are in the second round. And so as you see, the grant application process is open, but it closes October 24th. So you need to apply soon. Again, if you are a nonprofit and supporting women, you need to apply soon because it closes October 24th. And so you do have to submit an LOI, which is a letter of intent. And so to apply for this grant, the process will be pretty rigorous. And I don't normally share these, but it is a woman-funded grant, and I wanted to share it with you all. But there's a lot involved to receive this grant going towards nonprofit organizations. And so to get into some of the requirements, again, you have to have a nonprofit. You also need to have over $100,000 in annual expenses, which can be a pretty hefty cost. So you have to have a pretty decent business. And then you also need to have at least 51% of women on the board of directors. And so that's also included within the grant requirements. And so you have to, in addition, have a website. And so what they'll ask is that you submit a video clip at least 5 minutes in length. So as you see, a lot of these grants want you to submit videos and have a digital presence. And so here are more requirements. And just to further take home what you need to do, a grantee must support women and girls living in extreme poverty in developing countries. So it's definitely run by women, supporting women in areas where they need it the most. And so this is the type of business where you can receive this grant funding. And the amount, which I don't think I touched on, is pretty decent, $35,000 to $50,000. And 6 winners will have the opportunity to receive this grant money. The next grant that we have is the I Fund Woman grant, and this is sponsored by Visa. Visa She's Next Irish Grant Program. And so Visa also has a grant for Black women. Unfortunately, it's closed for 2021, but you definitely have to look out for Visa's grant. And so this is for Irish women. And I typically haven't done international grants before, but I'm excited to do it today. And so this is an Irish grant. And so you can win $5,000 in the Ireland's currency, and 5 women will win this grant. And so the applications are open, but they will close by November 2nd, 2021. So hurry up and apply for this grant. And so I believe you have to be in business for at least 1 year to apply for this grant. And yes, it must be woman owned. And so you need to know why you are wanting this grant money. Knowing the purpose for this grant money is huge. And so it goes into the qualifications here, as mentioned earlier. And so yes, you must check out this grant. If you are a woman-owned business in Ireland, this one's for you. Last but certainly not least, we have the Hello Alice KKR Small Business Builders Grant. And this applies to business owners around the world, whether you're a woman or man. But I had to include it here as well because it's $10,000 of grant money that you could win. And so some of the requirements, you have to be a business owner and have between 5 and 50 employees. You have to make less than $7 million in USD in annual revenue, and you must show a demonstrated need for support. And so the application is closing very soon, October 15th. You just have a few more days. And of course, this is sponsored by Hello Alice, which, as I said earlier, is a well-known organization focused on supporting new and growing entrepreneurs and business owners. Let's all dance when we get some money for our businesses. I hope this helped. Please let me know if you'd like to see any other content from me. Peace, stay building. Bye.